think we're chairs and directors, right?
Oh,
Commissioners.
Hey, this is Caitlin.
Commissioners.
Yeah, you're chairs and commissioners. Chair, vice
Thank
chair, and
you.
commissioners. Yeah.
Thank you.
It's great to see you, Madam Chair.
It's great to see you too. I'm sorry it's not in person.
No, this works.
so we should rename ourselves Commissioner. Sorry.
Hey, Dolores, you're
Yes, ma'am.
live streaming, so I'm gonna jump off and then, sorry if you want to change. That was me.
Yep,
I was
that's perfect. If-
Okay.
If you just give me back host, I can change everything up. Thank you, Ms. Kat.
Bye.
Bye.
Welcome, Emily.
Hi, thanks for having me.
We're extremely happy that you're here.
Oh,
Thanks for
thank you.
joining us.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. So where do I change the name? I'm sorry, I'm not the most savvy on here.
Click on participants in the middle bottom piece of your screen. It'll bring up the list of participants, and then you can just look to the right of your name and it will show rename.
I just did it for you. If you look up on your little, well, maybe because I run the Zoom.
Oh, okay. I see it now. Thank you, Dolores.
Sure.
As usual, Dolores holds all the power.
Thank you for changing my name.
Sure thing.
Have we heard from Commissioner Drystat?
No, the only one I heard from was Commissioner Delman. And also Commissioner Segrist emailed me yesterday that she had something come up and she would not be able to make it today. But that was
Okay. I'll make sure we have a quorum. So as of right now, we have 5 of 10 since we haven't formally appointed Commissioner Beam yet. What do we do in that case, Attorney?
once she's appointed, we should be fine, correct?
But can we start the meeting without a
Quorum. Yeah, let me look at your bylaws really quickly. It's a great question. I want to just confirm. Just one moment.
In the meantime, maybe somebody can reach out to Commissioner Cope, Commissioner Williams, Commissioner Drystat.
Who was the first commissioner you mentioned?
Commissioner Cope.
Cope.
And
Chris
he
Cope.
accepted. Let me,
Commissioner Farrell, are you reaching out to Commissioner Williams?
Yes, I am.
I don't know about you all, but today has just been a crazy day.
A meeting invite.
4 o'clock got here really quick.
Not enough coffee in the world for today.
So, Madam Chair, your bylaws are essentially silent, but your quorum is a majority of the commissioners. So I think we would, my recommendation would be to wait for one more member so that we have a quorum to call the meeting, I think would be most prudent.
Great. Well, and I see Commissioner Delman and Commissioner Cope are joining, so we're good.
Perfect.
Great. Thank you, though. Okay, we'll get started then. Welcome, everyone. I will call the Thursday, June 9th, Town of Lyons Urban Renewal Authority special meeting to order. Can we have the roll call, please, Clerk Vasquez?
Yes, Chair Rogan,
Present.
Commissioner Farrell,
Present.
Commissioner Dottie,
Present.
Commissioner Delman,
Sorry, present.
thank you. Commissioner Eding,
Present.
Commissioner Elson,
Present.
Commissioner Cope,
Present.
Commissioner Segrist, and Commissioner Williams.
Commissioner Williams has told me that
There,
There she is.
Oh, good.
I just had a client go a little bit late, that's all. I'm here.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's all rise, please, for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're going to have to find a flag for these virtual meetings.
I know, I should just get one to put behind, or
Well,
I
we
guess
used to have
behind
the, when you're in the, here, when someone's here, we had that. How did you do with that, Miss Commissioner Dati? Are you getting better?
There's Dolores.
I didn't have my chance, let's say.
We'll practice at CML.
There you go.
Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll
Second.
Thank you. Are there any modifications any commissioner would like to make to the agenda? Terrific. I'll call for the vote. And as we did on Monday night, we'll do a show of hands. So all in favor of approving the agenda, raise your hand.
and the motion
Terrific.
is unanimously.
Thank you. Next up is the consent agenda, which consists of the April 28th, 2022 Laura meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second,
Thank you. Any modifications anybody would like to make to the consent agenda? No? Then I will call for a show of hands vote on the consent agenda. All in favor of approving?
And the motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, Clerk Vasquez. Our general business item tonight, the first one is Resolution 2022-4 of the Town of Lyons Urban Renewal Authority, accepting appointment of commissioner to the authority. Do we have a staff report?
Oh, Caitlin, I don't know if you want to cover that. You want me to? Either one. Well, with the departure of Commissioner Krizek, as you all know, that she retired last month, Boulder County has made an appointment of Emily Beam, who's on your screen tonight. And tonight we need to accept her as the Boulder County Commissioner's representative to the Lyons Urban Renewal Authority.
Great, thank you.
Emily, I don't know if you want to give any background on yourself. I really don't know it. So.
Yeah, sure. Hi, everybody. My name is Emily Beam. I've been with Boulder County about 12 years. I'm currently work in the Office of Financial Management. I'm the Financial Systems Comptroller. I've worked a little bit with Lyons. I spent 5 years as the finance manager for the Sheriff's Office, so I worked with you guys indirectly on your law enforcement contracts with the Sheriff's Office. So I have a little bit of experience with Lyons in that sense, but I'm excited to work on this new project and learn more about your urban renewal district. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So then this is a resolution. So I believe I'm looking for a motion to approve this resolution, Attorney Quander. Yes. Okay. Is there a motion to approve the resolution? Commissioner Dati.
I motion to approve resolution 2022-04, accepting the appointment of Commissioner Beam for Boulder County.
Great, thank you. Is there a second?
I second that.
Okay, terrific. Any discussion at all? No? Okay, we'll call for the vote. All in favor, please raise your hands.
And the motion passes unanimously.
Terrific. Thank you so much. Welcome, Commissioner Beam. We're so
Thank you.
excited to have you. Thank you. Who conducts the swearing in here?
The clerk.
I've
Great.
got it. If we're ready.
Thank you.
Alrighty. And then you can just fill in your name and stuff for me, Emily. I state your name.
I, Emily Beam,
Do swear that I will support
do swear that I will support
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Colorado,
the Constitution of the State of Colorado,
and the Urban Renewal State Statutes,
and the Urban Renewal State Statutes,
and faithfully perform the duties
and faithfully perform the duties
of the office of Commissioner
of the Office of Commissioner
of the Town of Lyons Urban Renewal Authority,
of the Town of Lyons Urban Renewal Authority,
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Welcome. We promise when we're in person next, we'll have some treats to celebrate.
Thank you.
I'll have you sign it next time. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The next item is discussion direction on amending the meeting date and or time. Is there a staff report on this?
Sure. In May of 2018, the Board of Trustees that was seated at that time adopted as part of their, was it the bylaws? Yeah, bylaws update, that they wanted to have the regular meetings of the authority to be held on the last Thursday of each month at 6 p.m. And there has been some discussion amongst individual members that they would like to maybe consider a different time for our regular meetings. And so tonight, we just want to have a brief discussion if Thursday, the last Thursday of the month at 6 works for everyone, or if we would like to shift that because of the number of evening meetings you're all having. So it's really up to the authority if you want to make any changes or not. It was just suggested by a couple of people, so we thought we'd put it on here. And then if you decide to direct staff, we will bring it back as a ratification to our bylaws next meeting.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any discussion? Yes, Commissioner Farrell.
I don't mind the Thursdays. The date itself is fine with me. I do prefer, it would be nice to have something a little bit sooner than in the evening. I know though a lot of people do have regular jobs, so I'm flexible, but I'm open to changing it if other people are.
Other thoughts? Yes, Commissioner Williams.
It'd be difficult for me to make anything earlier than 4, but 4, generally speaking, in terms of my counseling clients, I'm generally done by 4 p.m. It often would happen, as it does today, where someone goes over by a minute or two. But I probably would be more in favor of that 4 p.m. than the 6 p.m., but I could make either one work on a Thursday.
Okay. Other thoughts?
Caitlin, did I hear that you have Fort Collins now on Thursdays at 5?
Yeah, thank you, Victoria. I wanted to make sure that the board had the opportunity to speak.
Sure.
I also represent the Fort Collins Urban Renewal Authority, and they meet on the 4th Thursday. So not always, the last is not the 4th. So it kind of changes at 5 o'clock. And so to the extent that we can if it is a 4 o'clock that we move to kind of try and, I think this last year, it only ended up being that there were a couple of conflicts where it came out, but I did want to make the board aware of that. So either looking at another night or understanding that I might need to have a substitute every now and again if our meeting is longer than an hour.
I wonder, thank you for that, Attorney Quander. What about the third Thursday of the month? I wonder if that would work better.
I need to look at that one.
Attorney Quander, would that work for you? It would. Okay, good, because we don't want your substitute.
Well, thank you.
Although I'm sure they're great. Commissioner Edding, you had your hand raised.
Yeah, I'm in favor for a little bit earlier in the day. 4 o'clock is fine. Third Thursday is fine, except I'm sure that won't work in November. But other than that, it's fine.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Dati.
Yeah, the only conflict I have is until the Hootenanny at the end of August. Our regular joint meetings between LCF and LEAF take place on the third Thursday at 4:30. So, I mean, if it were at 6, it would be okay, but before 6, I would prefer, yeah, it'd be better the last Thursday. It's that third Thursday, and that would only be till the end of August. So really only June and July.
Okay, Executive Director Simonson.
Just one thing to acknowledge is if you move it to the third Thursday of the month, you will always have 2 meetings that week. You have a Monday night Board of Trustees meeting, and then you'd have a Thursday Laura. That's why we had the 4th Thursday. But if you prefer to get them both done in the same week, we can do that as well. But just want to point that out. It would be 2 meetings in the same week on top of your boards and commissions.
Okay. Any other input, and then we'll try to figure this out piece by piece. Yes, Commissioner Farrell.
My only other input would be whatever day we do choose, perhaps 4:30 would be a good idea, just to make sure that, like Commissioner Williams or anybody else could, if we have in person, it might be a little bit easier to get to the office.
Okay. And Commissioner Dati, to address your concern, over the past 2 years, there have been several months where the LURA did not meet at all because there was no business to attend to. I'm not sure how often that'll happen, but I think between now and August, if you need to miss a couple meetings, I think that's probably fine. Yes, Commissioner Williams.
As for being on the same week, that actually is better for me now that I have a schedule. My speaking engagements, I'm trying to avoid the first and the third week engagements, and a lot of my stuff ends up being on Wednesday, Thursday. And of course, at this point, it's still primarily virtual, so that's not much of a problem. But once there again, I could be anywhere, literally. And so for me, that actually is a little bit better. But if we try to do things around my schedule, we're going to all be in trouble. I think I'm just going to have to adapt.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Delman.
So for me, generally, the earlier we do it is more difficult. So 6 o'clock is easier.
Okay. And Commissioner Dati?
I'm just wondering how this will affect the next meeting that I have in my calendar, which is set for June 30th. Will that already take effect this month? Because right now
yeah, Madam Chair, my understanding is that this meeting is essentially being held in substitute for that later June meeting. We expect that would not be held.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Victoria and Madam Chair, but I think that was what we thought. Yeah.
Okay, so I will, and I see Commissioner Drystat is here, but he doesn't have his camera on, which is totally, oh, there he is. Hello.
Hello, sorry for getting on late. I had trouble with my computer.
That's no problem at all. So I think the way to probably attack this is to ask who is in favor of moving to the third Thursday of the month? And I'll ask Clerk Vasquez to do a roll call vote on this, just because I don't want to miss anyone. And I see that Commissioner Edding doesn't have his camera on too. So could we do that?
I have a question.
Oh, there he is. Yes.
I could make almost any time. So should I vote every time?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Okay. So I think we all have our cameras on. So show of hands, who would like to have the meetings on the third Thursday of the month?
So we have 8 yeses.
Okay. So we'll do that. And then as far as time goes, who is in favor? I'll ask who's in favor of 4:30 p.m. and then I'll ask who is in favor of 6 p.m. and we'll see which gets the most votes. Does that sound good? Okay. All in favor of 4:30 p.m. And you can vote twice.
I have 7 yeses.
Okay. All in favor of 6 p.m.
I have 5.
Okay, so it looks like it's 4:30 on the third Thursday of the month.
Unless there's a middle time. I mean, that's almost split, 5 to 7. I'd hate to not have someone who can't be there at all, like Trustee Delman, or I'm sorry, Commissioner Delman,
What about 5:30
or 5 even.
or 5? Would 5 work, Commissioner Delman?
That would definitely be easier than, but I have to block out my work schedule for all the time. So the less I block out my work, the better.
Okay.
Okay.
So all in favor of 5 p.m. on the third Thursday?
Seven yeses.
Okay. I'm so sorry. These scheduling things are so difficult because everybody's so busy.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Commissioner Dati?
So can we just clarify when this would take place, or when this would be put in place? Would this be for July then? Are we thinking about July 21st would be the next potential LURA meeting?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, we would bring the ratification of that on July 21st, unless Attorney Quander tells us otherwise, if we have to stick with our normal time until you ratify it.
No, that's okay. I mean, the meetings to date, even this meeting, for example, is being held at 4 o'clock, right? And so those have technically been called via special meetings, which our bylaws allow. It's just more, and special meetings can occur, but if it becomes a regular occurrence, our preference is to formalize that in the bylaws. So no, we can certainly move it to the 21st and then ratify that at that meeting.
So will the meeting on the 21st then be at 6 p.m.?
No.
Okay.
So is it 4:30 or is it 5?
We had 7 and 7, so 5 o'clock.
Yeah. Commissioner Dati, are you raising your hand or saying that it's?
I am. I just want to clarify, because this is my first LURA meeting, so I apologize for asking a lot of questions in advance. I'd just like to know, do we need to block out this time then on every month on the last Thursday? Should we just block it out just to be sure?
Every month on the third Thursday.
Right. So we should just block it out every month, whether we have a meeting or not. We'll establish that as we go, I guess.
Yes, and Clerk Vasquez will let us know if the meeting is canceled.
I was just going to say that typically if there's nothing on the agenda, I'll send out an email that the meeting has been canceled and rescheduled for the next month.
Thank you.
Okay. Clear as mud, everybody? All right. Are there any other items anyone wishes to discuss before I ask for a motion to go into executive session? All right. Do I have a motion to go into executive session?
I move to go into executive session.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I did send you the language.
Yep, I got it. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion?
Madam Chair, if you could have the motion be made based on the to just cite the 2 statutory references for purposes of the executive session.
You got it.
Thank you.
We'll start again. Is there a motion to go into executive session pursuant to CRS sections 24-6-402-4E and 24-6-402-4B for the purpose of determining positions relative to matters that may be subject to negotiations, developing strategy for negotiations, and instructing negotiators, and for legal advice from attorneys representing the town regarding a tax increment financing agreement with Moss Rock Development LLC. Should we do the motion in the second again?
Sure.
I motion that we go into executive session for all those reasons that you just stated.
Thank
I'm not going to say them
you.
again.
Thank you, Commissioner Cope. Do we have an official second again?
Second.
Okay.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Okay, I'll call for an affirmative vote to go into executive session by show of hands.
Commissioner Edding? Yes, okay, perfect. The vote is unanimous.
Thank you.
I will email out the link to the executive session Zoom right now.
Okay, so we log off this and log on to that link for those new to the process. Okay, we'll see you in a moment.
Gonna come out via email, is that right?
Yes, it'll come in your email.